This will be a brief introduction to semiotics. Semiotics is the study of the structure of language. The presumption there being that language is structuralist in nature. Saussure is known as the father of semiotics. Saussure argued that language had a structure, which was comprised of the sign, the signifier, and the signified. The signified is the thing itself, let's say a hummingbird. The signifier is the representation of a hummingbird, such as the written word or the sounds I make with my mouth. The sign is the idea of a hummingbird. When I say hummingbird or when you see it written, it's the idea of what a hummingbird is that you have in your mind. In this situation, it's a little more complex because this isn't actually a hummingbird, this is a picture of a hummingbird, projected onto styrofoam if you're seeing it live, or onto your computer screen. This means that actually this picture of the hummingbird should go into the signifier box because it is a representation of a hummingbird. This is part of the reason why Derrida later came to critique semiotics and structuralism, by saying that there was a fundamental disconnect between the sign, the signifier, and the signified. He argued that the sign is in constant deferment, and he named this idea difference. The idea is that the signifier represents the signified, meaning that the word hummingbird is a representation of the hummingbird. Derrida argued that the metaphysics of presence was such that the transcendental signifier, a fancy word meaning the thing in itself, would never be directly perceived, and thus was in constant deferment. This can be understood by using the metaphor of media degradation. When a person makes a copy of a videotape, picture, or audio, and then makes a copy of the copy, there is some information lost. And therefore the copy of the copy is further from being the original, and after many copies of copies, they gradually become further from being adequate or even recognizable representations of the original. Derrida argued that the metaphysics of presence is such that we never actually experience a thing itself directly. We only ever experience translations of our sense organs which function to limit our perceptual process so that we are not overwhelmed. Anyways, this has been a brief introduction to semiotics.